Hi, my name's Horton and I'm an application engineer for our 3D doc team here at FARO UK. During this third movie in sequence, what I'd like to do is run you through combining data from the FARO Focus and the FARO Freestyle in scene 5.4. Following on from the two previous movies where I showed you how to capture data using the FARO Freestyle and using FARO Scene Capture, and then processing the data and registering the data using FARO Scene Process, what I'd like to do now is go through the registration process to incorporate data from the Freestyle with data from the FARO Focus. As you can see on my screen, I've already captured 5 scans using the Focus. Before I bring the data in from the Freestyle, I'm going to do a little bit more work on the Focus data, and I'm going to get it all registered and nicely set up. So first thing I'm going to do is create a new cluster, and just so I don't forget, I'm going to create a cluster called Focus Data, and beneath Focus Data I'm obviously going to put those 5 scans. At the top level I'm going to rename that to be master underscore target underscore reg, just so I know when I come to register the data I know exactly what I've done with it. Because we're working in a fairly small room and I've done 5 scans, I'm going to register that data. So using the cloud to cloud functionality and top view functionality, I'm first going to do a top view registration as we've done in previous movies, which can all be seen on my YouTube channel. As soon as that's finished, we'll then go in and do a cloud to cloud registration. So rather than you having to watch that registration process, I've just gone straight ahead, paused the movie and done the cloud to cloud registration. Just check my results in here and I've got 0.9 accuracy between those scans, which is fine. So most important, I'm going to lock my scan manager, and then before moving on to the next stage, and this is something I always do, I'm going to go in and look at that data to check that it's been registered using the correspondence view. I only need 1 million points loaded to do that. Once that data is loaded in, I can rotate around and just look at the density overlap between the colours to make sure there are no massive anomalies in the registration process, which there don't appear to be. I've got nice straight lines and nice density overlap between the colours. Because I've got 1 million points loaded, I then tend to drop into the 3D view, and if you don't do this, it's a quick and easy way to view your data in the 3D view without having to have all your scans fully loaded. Load them partially in correspondence view first, and then look at the 3D view. So looking at that, I can't see anything that's jumping out straight away as being out of alignment, so that's fine. Now I'm happy. Close those two views down, unload all my scans, which I do always before going to the next step, and save, and again give myself a name, so if I need to revert back at any particular point in the future I can do. So now we need to get the Freestyle data into scene. I've played around with a few workflows. I've played around by bringing focus data into FARO Scene Process and then registering it against your Freestyle data. But I think the best way for me is to focus on your FARO Focus data first, get it all registered, get it all in place, get it all clustered. Then bring in your Freestyle data. Again, you can either register that in Scene Process or register it in Scene 5.4, which I've got here. To get the data in, I could drag and drop, but all I'm going to do is go to File and Import. I've navigated to the root of my Office scans using the Freestyle, and I'm going to look for the ls_proj file in the Files of Type. Select the Office Scans ls_proj file and click Open. That will then import the data into my master project. So here we can see the cupboard scans that we've used in the previous movie, and if I just view those in 3D just to make sure I've got everything I needed to, and that the registration is still fine, which it is. Then a little bit of housework. All I'm going to do is pick up the cluster here and pop it under my master cluster and get rid of this scans cluster. So I've now got 2 data sets, one of focus data and one of Freestyle data. If I look at the cupboard in the Freestyle data, I know from memory that this is the best of the 2 scans to link through to my focus data. So what I'm going to do is use the split correspondence option that was introduced in scene 5.3. I'm going to bring the cupboard Freestyle data into the left, and I'm going to bring the focus scan number 2 into the right. And then all we need to do is work through using the split correspondence tools and reference the two areas together. So we've got a sphere here, we might as well use it. So pick it in the freestyle data and pick it in the focus data. I've then got what looks like a legacy plane on the floor here that we've used. So what I can do in my focus data is pop a plane roughly there on the floor and create a plane. And then the last thing I'm going to do is pop a plane on my door, because I can see I've got a legacy plane on the left hand freestyle data. So let's just pop a plane on there. As soon as I've got more than 2 points of reference, you can see that the split correspondence view has automatically picked up and recognized that I've got those common points of reference between both scans. Looking down on the bottom right hand side, I've got 3 correspondences, all of which have got a green light, so it's giving me a good correspondence between the two. I've also got a green outline around each object, again telling me straight away I've got a good registration between the two. So when I'm happy, I'm just going to click and force the correspondence. So I've now got 3 forced correspondences. Close that dialog box down, and then when we're ready, we're going to go to the master cluster at the top, do a registration using target based. Look at my results, and based on the limited points I selected, it's slightly over my normal limit of 4mm, but for the purposes of this demonstration I'm quite happy. I could start to go into the target tensions and look at plane 3, which has got a 4.3mm tension between the focus scan and the freestyle scan. Again, I could go and add more in and try and tighten that up, but like I say, for the purposes of this, it's fine. I'm now just going to load all the focus data, and then we'll have a look at both of the scan sets together in 3D. Now those have loaded, we'll go and have a look in the 3D view and look at the effects of the data that we've got. So as you can see, I've left the focus data in grayscale and kept the freestyle data in color. And let's just refresh, so you can start to see we've got a good overlap of data there. Between the two. And now we can see all sides of the cupboard. So when I'm happy that registration has worked, as always, I'm going to lock the scan manager so it can't move. I can then proceed now to start using some of the other features I've seen, creating movies, starting to create clipping boxes, things like that. But for the purpose of this movie, what I wanted to show you is the ease of use in which you can combine data from the focus and the freestyle together in FARO Scene. If I got multiple data sets from the freestyle, I could start to build in more clusters and more structure, and again link all the data together using the standard tools that we use on a daily basis. Thank you for watching. I hope it's been of use, and please feel free to look out for forthcoming movies.